Hello, welcome to a new video, a new IELTS speaking test preparation video. This time, grammar. So let's get started. Today, we will look at the grammar range and accuracy assessment criteria on the IELTS speaking test. Grammar is one of the four things that are tested with pronunciation, fluency, and vocabulary. There are links to those videos in the description. So we're going to focus on these five things. So range, control, which means accuracy, narrative tenses, questions and answers, and making mistakes. Let's start with range. So as I mentioned in the vocabulary video, we need to show a range of vocabulary, and it's the same for grammar. So to get a higher band score, up to like band 7, you need to show a range of grammatical structures. So not just simple grammar, also some complex, difficult grammar. And then band 8 is a wide range of grammatical structures. So even more attempts at complex grammar. So how can we do that? So imagine in part 2, you're given a topic and then have to explain why or when or how. For example, a memorable sporting event. Then in part 3, you have to answer questions that relate to part 2. For example, what benefits do international sporting events bring? So let's take that part 3 question. How can we show a range of grammar? What benefits do international sporting events bring? Let's check these two and compare these two answers. A. Sporting events can help a country's economy and can lead to more jobs. Okay, that's an okay answer. How about B? International sporting events such as the Olympics can bring all sorts of benefits to the host city. I heard that Beijing, which hosted the Winter Games in 2022, made a profit. This is obviously beneficial to the local economy as it creates jobs, improves local infrastructure, if it's managed competently. Okay, which one is better, A or B? Of course, B. Because there's a range of vocabulary and a range of grammar. There's grammar for giving examples, if clauses, so conditionals, relative clauses, talking about possibility, past and present tenses. So it's a range of grammar. Okay, next, control, which means accuracy. So, of course, you're not expected to be 100% correct. Even up to band 8, mistakes are expected. So band 7 says both simple and complex sentences are used effectively, despite some errors, some mistakes. A few basic errors persist. So even at band 7, you can still make some basic mistakes. Band 8, the majority of sentences are error-free. Occasional errors occur, and a few basic errors may persist. So it's more accurate, but even at band 8, some mistakes can persist, can still happen. Narrative tenses. So as we know, we have past, present, future. You need to show a range. So we have to be able to talk about the past, the present, and the future. So in part 1, you'll likely need to talk about the present, your job, your work, your hometown. Part 2, you'll likely need to talk about the past and present, or the past or present. So describe a memorable holiday, talk about a book you read recently, something like that. In part 3, you'll likely need to talk about past, present, and future. So there's a range of questions in part 3. So Let's think about these topics. What do you think? What tense will you need? How about your job? Yeah, probably present tense. It's your job now. How technology will change. Yeah, like the future, you're talking about possibility. It's going to change, will change. A memorable movie. Probably the past. It's memorable. It's a memory, so it's something happened before. Important family member. That could be past or present. Your family member could be still with us now, or maybe it's a family member from your childhood. Climate change. Okay, it could be present or future. So you talk about the climate now and then how it's going to change in the future. 20 years' time. It's behind me, but yes, probably future. So you can see how these topics, you're going to have to be able to use present, past, future tenses to describe and talk about all these things. Okay, let's think about questions and answers. So in the test, listen carefully to the questions and make sure your answers match the grammar. So you're going to be listening carefully for those key grammar words. For example, here's an example part 1 question. What sports and exercise do you do? Okay, the missing key words. What sports and exercise do you do? So this is a present question. Okay, how about this one? When the last time you... So what do you think? What does it look like? Present, past, future? Yeah, it's a past question. When was the last time you went? So that's in the part 2. After you speak for 2 minutes, the examiner will ask you a couple of rounding off questions like this. Part 3. How will it change in 20 years? How will? Okay. Okay, it's asking a question about the future. You have to speculate, guess, make a prediction. So it's really important to listen carefully to the questions and listen for those key grammar words, which help you to then answer properly. However, as we said, mistakes do happen. And if you mishear the question, then maybe you will not give a correct answer. But remember, it's okay to make mistakes all the way to band 8. You can still make mistakes. If you realize when you are talking that you've made a mistake, that's okay. Don't panic. Turn it into a chance to show off your grammar range. So just quickly apologize, correct yourself, and then give a better answer. So for example, let's say in part 1, this question, the examiner asks, so please, what sports and exercise do you do? You have a little think, and then you start to say, oh, when I was in high school, I used to play... But the question is about present tense. The answer is talking about the past. Maybe you've made a mistake. You realize, so apologize, correct yourself, give a better answer. Oh, sorry, you said, do you play, didn't you? You said, do you play, didn't you? Well, these days I train... And also, if you do this, you apologize and correct yourself. Oh, sorry, you said, do you play? That's also adding a bit of flexible pronunciation with the stress. How about this one? How will it change in 20 years? Okay, you have a quick think, start to answer. Oh, it's changed a lot in the last 20 years. Then you realize, have I made a mistake? Apologize, correct yourself, give a better answer. Oh, wait, how will it change? My apologies. How will it change? Well, I think that in 20 years, it will possibly... blah, blah, blah. So you can see how don't panic in the test if you make a mistake. Mistakes are okay. And you can then apologize and then give a better answer. What's important in IELTS, like we said in the fluency video, you have to talk at length. So you need to give a full answer. Okay, in the description, there are links to the pronunciation, the fluency, and the vocabulary video. So check those out. And good luck on your tests. I'm sure with practice and being careful, you'll do great. All right, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye.